The town of Greece is being sued over allegations of intimidation and placing tracking devices on vehicles. Good evening, I'm Karen Edwards.
And I'm Lowell Rose. The new lawsuit filed last week is connected to the town's former deputy supervisor's alleged pay-to-play scheme. It involves a high-ranking member of the police department.
This is a concern, and this should be a concern to everybody that lives in the town of Greece.
Tina Bachman has filed a lawsuit against the town of Greece, claiming her vehicles were tracked using GPS devices. Starting in 2022, Bachman worked as a housekeeper for the daughter and son-in-law of former deputy town supervisor Michelle Marini.
Ms. Bachman later found out that there was at least investigations relating to certain renovations that were done in that home. And Ms. Bachman reported essentially what she knew about those renovations, and that information was shared with law enforcement.
It's believed that's what triggered the alleged surveillance by the town of Greece in an effort to intimidate the family. Bachman's husband is a longtime Greece police officer, also impacted by the alleged surveillance, and fears he'll be fired.
It's off the rails. It's just off the rails. When you have a police department that's been weaponized to do officials' business and to pursue their pursuits and their interest instead of being law enforcement.
Maureen Bass, the attorney for Tina Bachman, said these GPS devices were discovered in March of 2024 on family vehicles. The lawsuit also claims Deputy Greece Police Chief Aaron Springer interrogated neighbors, friends, and family members about the housekeeping business in Bachman's marriage. And as recently as last week, he allegedly was spotted checking her LinkedIn page. Here's a screenshot the attorney shared.
Well, it comes to the point where Ms. Bachman is afraid for her life and for her children's life. So they want to make sure that this is as public as can be. And again, it's not for money. It's so that they can be left alone and that they can know that they're going to survive these issues.
The Democratic candidate running for town supervisor believes there should be an independent investigation into the matter.
I think that would send a message that they're taking this seriously and that they're going to hold people accountable, because the fact that anyone would find this acceptable is really mind-boggling and just incredibly hard to believe.
Now, the town of Greece released a statement saying the town has not been served with the complaint. If that occurs, we will review the lawsuit. As such, the town will reserve comment at this time. And us here, we will continue to keep you updated as this story progresses.
10, a former Hutchinson County Sheriff's Office deputy has been arrested and charged with possession of child pornography.
The Texas Department of Public Safety Criminal Investigation Division special agents received a tip saying the former deputy had child pornography. Now, following the tip, officers launched an investigation into 38-year-old Drennan Rogers, and on February 14th, CID special agents searched Rogers' home in Borger. Now, as a result of the search, Rogers was arrested and charged with possession of child pornography. DPS says Roger was booked into the Hutchinson County Jail, and an investigation is ongoing.
Well, a woman who says she suffered more than 300 fire ant bites, mostly on her face, says it happened as police officers held her down in an ant mound.
How can y'all do this? Ants are on my face! Please let go! Help me!
You can hear Taylor Rogers in this police body cam video screaming for help after she says she was stopped by Santa Fe Independent School District Police and Santa Fe Police Department officers because she says she was driving the wrong way in a circle drive at her son's school.
And for no reason, thrown on the ground right into a bed of fire ants.
Ants are on my face!
And then held there while she's screaming that there's fire ants on her. They put handcuffs on her so she can't even brush them off her face.
The absence of empathy and human compassion among some individuals in law enforcement.
Rogers says she was bitten over and over on her face, scalp, neck, chest, back, and arms by fire ants.
And we know that actually, on occasion, they kill animals, and even sometimes they can kill people with enough bites. And I was counting these bites, and I stopped at 300 bites.
Just cut my circulation off. Ants are on my face.
She's now filed a federal lawsuit in Galveston County against the city of Santa Fe and 2 officers. She says she was on school grounds dropping off her 9-year-old son, who was in the car and saw the whole thing.
She's telling these officers, there's ants on my face, and they don't brush them off. This was their punishment. They knew what they're doing. This was no mistake.
While I forgive those officers for their actions that day, I refuse to remain silent in the face of the violation of my son's and my civil rights.
This happened in August 2021.
And the Santa Fe Police Department has not disciplined any officer. They have accepted this behavior.
It's not just a failure of individual officers, but also of the leadership and the first responders who are called upon to resolve societal issues and disputes.
If this is okay to do what they did to Taylor, then what else is okay?
The Santa Fe Police Department says it cannot comment on ongoing litigation.
Good morning and welcome to the Bad Apple Report. It's 7:30 a.m. bright and early right here at home on the range. Thank you so much for being here today, folks. I really appreciate it. We are going to start out in Prescott, Arizona. That's right, it's pronounced Prescott, not Prescott. In fact, the other day, a very cool commenter noted that we did a story and I thought it was Weber, Utah, but he said it's pronounced Weber, Utah. I think that's cool. Thank you so much. I'm going to get better at that stuff. Okay, so here we have a retired La County deputy convicted of trying to meet children for X in Arizona. Ooh, a former sheriff's deputy from California has been convicted of arranging to meet young children for X in northern Arizona. Prosecutors in Yavapai County said a jury found 68-year-old Jeffrey Joseph York of Prescott guilty of luring a minor for sexual exploitation and 2 counts of attempted sexual conduct of a minor. Okay, this guy. You know, I wonder if it was his first time. Okay. This guy is a bad guy. He's a bad apple, and he made it on the Bad Apple Report. Here it says, quote, adults who prey on children have no place in our community. Okay. The fact that Mr. York was a retired law enforcement officer is a stark betrayal of the oath he once took and of the many fine officers who served their communities with distinction and honor and who ultimately brought Mr. York to justice. Ooh, they did their jobs. They did their jobs. Okay. Yavapai County Attorney Dennis McGrain said in the news release. Nice statement there, Dennis. Authorities say York is retired from Los Angeles Sheriff's Department and was caught during an undercover operation in September 2023. During that joint operation with the FBI task force, prosecutors say York tried to meet up with a 7-year-old boy and an 11-year-old girl. And those conversations, he had conversations with a 7-year-old and an 11-year-old? Okay. In those conversations, he reportedly described acts he planned to engage in with the children. He was arrested at the arranged meetup spot. Quote, I hope the lengthy prison sentence Mr. York is facing will send a clear message to sexual predators as they are not welcome in Yavapai County. Let me be clear. If you try to abuse a child here, you will be caught and aggressively prosecuted by my office, McGrain said. Good job, McGrain. Sentencing is set for February 28th. Ooh, we're going to be reporting on that. It's going to be in the Yavapai County Superior Courtroom. He faces 26 years and 3 months in prison. Look at this guy. What a loser. Made it on the Bad Apple Report. Loser. Okay, let's move on with the show.
Well, people I spoke with say the community deserves to know why the police chief was given this ultimatum. They say there's a lot of speculation going on, and the community deserves some transparency. The clock is ticking for Henderson Police Chief Holly Chadwick.
This just kind of come out of nowhere.
Sources tell Channel 13 Chadwick was placed on leave and given 3 weeks to decide if she'll leave or get fired.
We're all curious what happened.
Henderson residents I spoke with say this move caught them by surprise and feel like the city and police chief are not being transparent with the community.
It's a little upsetting because nobody really knows what's happening. As a citizen, I think it's important for everybody to know why. And the fact that they said that she needs to resign or she's going to be fired, like that doesn't feel good.
I mean, she was on the force for 21 years, so what happened? Why now?
We need to know what's going on.
We reached out to the city of Henderson to learn more about the decision. In a statement, a spokesperson said, quote, Chief Holly Chadwick is on leave. Deputy Chief Itzhak Hen is the acting chief. We cannot comment further on personnel matters. And while it's not clear why Chadwick was given the ultimatum, what is clear is that the department has gone through several police chiefs over the last roughly 10 years. Before Chadwick became chief, Federic Andres was chief from 2019 to 2023, and from 2017 to 2019, Letitia Watson was the chief of the Henderson Police Department. And before Watson, Patrick Morse was overseeing the department from 2012 to 2017. Before he was forced out for sexual harassment.
It's a little troubling.
Residents I spoke with are hopeful the next chief will remain in the position.
It's a really big position. It's a big deal. And we want to make sure that we're protected, and we want to make sure that the person who is leading those people are honest and forthright.
Just hope they can get somebody that'll stick.
Okay, folks, we're banging through the headlines, and we've come across a former Putnam County commissioner, sheriff, sentenced. Look at this guy. Check out that nose, man. This guy's a bruiser, allegedly. Let's find out what he did, though. Putnam County, West Virginia. Oh, country roads. Former Putnam County commissioner and sheriff Steve DeWeese has been sentenced 2 months after pleading guilty after an investigation into misappropriation of, okay, that's a West Virginia sentence right there. A prose by any other name would be, well, I don't know if there is a hillbilly version of Ebonics. Okay, that was mean. I don't even know where I'm going with all that. But you know what I'm talking about. Don't sue me, anybody. DeWeese was sentenced to 1 year probation and to pay a restitution. He has 1 year to pay the restitution. You better get on it, DeWeese. He entered an offered plea in December in which he maintained his innocence but admitted the evidence would likely result in a guilty verdict at trial. What the hell is that? The investigation focused on money raised by the Putnam County Sheriff's Office through the sale of advertisements on a calendar between 2017 and 2019. Oh, wow. Cheeks of Putnam County. What's going on there? According to prosecutors, the Putnam County Sheriff's Department Deputy Sheriff's Association did not receive any checks or deposits related to the sales of ads on that calendar. Prosecutors say the association was supposed to receive $4,000. Investigators say DeWeese cashed 4 checks for $1,000 apiece for personal use. Oh, DeWeese. DeWeese served 2 terms as Putnam County Sheriff before winning election to the Putnam County Commission in 2022. That's the way they do it, you guys. They do 2 terms as sheriff, and then they go on to the commission. Then they do something stupid like this. And make it on the Bad Apple Report. He resigned in November of 2024 due to the investigation. Humiliation. What a goofball. What a goofball. Okay, let's move on with the show.
Sources tell us that St. Louis police have been investigating an alleged sexual assault. The victim, a detainee inside the St. Louis Criminal Justice Center. The alleged perpetrator is a St. Louis City Sheriff's deputy. Sources tell us the reported assault occurred on the 10th of this month. But an attorney for the sheriff's office tells us that may not be the only act of misconduct. The deputy, who had been with the department for 3 years, was terminated recently, according to the attorney.
I can also confirm that we're still trying to pin down the start and duration of misconduct, and that the internal affairs investigation exceeds merely the scope of this one deputy sheriff.
Blake Lawrence is the attorney for the sheriff's office. He tells us there are a lot of sensitive issues, telling us the sheriff's office had been conducting an internal investigation into that deputy for potentially several instances of alleged conduct that started occurring late last year. However, separately, that attorney tells us elected Sheriff Alfred Montgomery and his personnel were inside the jail today regarding that investigation. He would not confirm what sources told us, that the sheriff placed the current head of the jail, Tammy Ross, in handcuffs, essentially arresting her for a time.
Sheriff's personnel did perceive earlier today that evidence was in imminent danger of destruction or expiration, and that sheriff's deputies intervened to prevent the expiration of that evidence.
St. Louis police sent a statement saying only the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department is aware of a potential incident today at the City Justice Center. We have no comment at this time. Issues have plagued the St. Louis City Jail for years, from riots and broken locks to detainee deaths. Most recently, in December, a female detainee filed a lawsuit against the city, accusing jail officials of allowing a male detainee to sexually assault her, when she says officials failed to separate male and female inmates. The deputy has not been charged, but we expect additional details in the coming days. David Amilati, First Alert 4 investigates.
And we did reach out to the mayor and the Department of Corrections, but so far we have not heard back. We have learned the deputy's name, but we are choosing not to name him until charges are filed. An attorney for him says they have no comment at this time.
Okay, friends, that's going to do it for the Bad Apple Report this morning. Thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to whip up another batch of Bad Apples for you, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. bright and early. Have a great day.